Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Olive Nkiriote and this is Olive Nkiriote Rebranded. A lot of you have requested, only because I actually brought it up on my Instagram and so many of you guys were like super interested, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna actually talk about this on my channel. Disclaimer guys, I am not a financial advisor. I mean, as you all know, I'm just a hustler. I'm just an entrepreneur trying to make some good money. I don't want to keep trading my hours for dollars. I want money to work for me. So I am an avid fan of cryptocurrency, thanks to my partner who actually told me about it first in 2015 when I joined campus. So I'm gonna talk about everything basics of cryptocurrency in this video. So it's going to be a series, I think, for the next 2 weeks, so stay tuned for that. So as well guys, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to this amazing channel. If you are already excited about to learn and you're like, girl, we're ready, start, then definitely smash the like button as we get into this video. 1990s, like olden days ish, when we were being born, the internet was there but no one knew what it was doing. Like, no one understood the gist of the internet. You could buy and sell on the internet. Guys, 20 years later, the internet has become part of our lives, and this is the same thing that will happen with blockchain technology, or rather cryptocurrency. Right now we do not know what it's about, but let me tell you guys, it will become a way of life. So the first question I'm going to answer is, what is cryptocurrency? Cryptocurrency is the new form of digital money. Just the same way you have trust on paper money, what you can see, now cryptocurrency is money that is digital. So you're gonna have faith that this money exists digitally. The value is in digital form, also known as virtual currency. Characteristics of cryptocurrency: so it is digital money, it's not paper money. Okay, another thing is, it is transferred person to person online. So you can get my cryptocurrency, I can send it to another person in the US, I can send it to another person in Canada. You can transfer it online, person to person. It is the same globally. You see the way if you're traveling to US, you have to now exchange your currency and get the dollars. If you're traveling to South Africa, you'd have to like buy the rand and exchange it for you see all these annoying transactions. With cryptocurrency, it is the same globally. So what one Bitcoin is in America is the same as one Bitcoin in Kenya. Fourth thing is, it is encrypted. So what I mean by encryption is, they're really like no names, like Olive Nkiriote. There's no use of names. It's pretty much like IDs and numbers to represent you as a person. Another thing is, it is decentralized. So like I said, if you're sending money to someone in, for example, Canada, and you have to transfer money, you have to maybe go to your local bank, Barclays, and then wire it to that bank, and then the person has to go to that bank, and then so that is a centralized system. So a centralized system is a system where things are being operated from a central point, and in this case it's the bank. So the bank is like your middle man to help you transfer your money. However, with cryptocurrency, it's decentralized, so there's really no bank, there's no middleman. It's just, I have transferred it to Canada to my friends, boom, you've gotten the money. Beauty about this is, everyone is in charge of their own money, so you're not depending on the government, you're not depending on the bank. It's direct from you to whoever it is in the world. I want to now talk about the normal currency, and the normal currency is known as the fiat currency. Before we enter into what fiat currency is, I want to briefly go through evolution of money. So I believe you all know that beginning it was barter trade. We used to trade cows for sheep. It was, you give me what you have and I'll give you what I have. Then we slowly moved to gold and metal coins. So this was called the gold standard. Instead of having to carry gold bars to go buy food, the government came up with ways where you could keep your gold in the reserve, and then they would give you a note that is equivalent to that. So that time, money really had value. We all know that gold and silver is very valuable, so that is why it was called the gold standard. But it was slowly abolished, and right now we are on paper money, and paper money honestly is just printed and does not have anything backing it. The only thing that backs it is the fact that we have trust in that this money is valuable, but in literal sense, it is just paper. You could burn it and nothing would happen. Cryptocurrency is something, it's like the gold and silver of digital era. These are things that are mined, these are codes, these are solutions that have been solved to bring about this currency, and it's not something that can be counterfeited, it's not something that can be duplicated, it's not something that can be copied. You know, it's very structured and it has that element of gold and silver that used to be there in those days. Let's get into the video. I hope you see the transition. I hope you understand the transition right now, and I would urge you guys to go read about the gold standard and also the petrodollar. The US tried to still make their money valuable, and they linked the dollar to oil. So if you actually, I don't know if you know this, but any oil that is bought by any country or any oil that is sold to any country is done in dollars. Yes, kindly read on it and you'll see why I feel like the government is a big lie. But anyway, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist. So yeah, continue watching the video and let's see why fiat currency is believed yet it has no value. This is fiat currency, right? This is normal paper money, and the only reason normal paper money is used, there are 4 reasons behind it. 1, enough people must have it here and there, but enough people must have it. 2, the society must accept it. You and I have to accept that we want to be paid in this amount. 3, merchants must also be willing to sell their goods and services for money. And finally, the government has to give us the control for this to work. All traditional currencies are fiat currencies. The 2 people that are in charge of your fiat currency are the government and the banks. Difference between fiat currency and cryptocurrency is fiat currency can be printed at any one time. As you guys can see right now in the coronavirus situation, like the US is giving out money to companies, all these industries that need money so that they can be able to stay afloat. However, what I was trying to explain in the video is how fiat currency, like there's no boundaries. The government and all these people have the power to do anything. I feel like it's a good and bad thing because people are suffering, people need money to be assisted. However, the long-term effect of this is brutal to the same people, and you guys know the term there's no free lunch. And I wanted to tell you guys the effects of bailouts and stimulus checks and printing money and just pumping in money into the economy. Obviously it's inflation. The more money there is, the more things are gonna be pricey. It trickles down to us as well, and this means products and services will increase in prices. Again, if inflation comes, what happens, guys? It lowers your purchasing power. So if yes, you are being paid 10,000 salary or 100,000 salary or 1 million salary, your money will not have the same purchasing power. You'd have to work more, you'd have to make more so that you can now be able to afford the products and services, because now guess what, the prices are higher. Your savings will depreciate in value, so people are resorting to saving cryptocurrency, to saving actual gold, actual silver, and things like that. However, with cryptocurrency, there is a maximum amount that exists. For example, for Bitcoin, there are only 21 million Bitcoins available. You cannot mine more than that. So if 21 is already used up, maybe we find the alternating coins, which are like Ethereum and Litecoin or Ripple, that can be used. I hope you guys are getting the difference as to why this is not good for the long term, but cryptocurrency will be good in the long term. However, it's going to hurt the government, but let's see how that unfolds. Blockchain is the technology behind the virtual currency. Cryptocurrency is now somewhere in blockchain. So blockchain is a technology which is going to be big. Blockchain is a technology that will be able to disrupt the internet. The blockchain is pretty much a huge database with blocks that are chained with transactions. So I'm here to explain to you guys what blockchain is in easy terms, because I have watched myself say the same thing over and over again and I wasn't even understanding what I was saying. Anyway, so let me give an example. You see, for example, a bank is a central place, right? And it has a central database. also known as the ledger, where they put all your customer details, they've put their account number, your name, your balance, your transactions, and all that stuff. However, if something bad was to happen, like a hacker could gain like the access to the database, they could easily change the transactions, delete them, I don't know, like do so many things, and then now the bank would have to find ways to restore that data or backups and all this, because it is just in that one central place. Now, since now you've understand how banks work, now let me show you how the blockchain technology works. Imagine an accounting recording book, and every time someone wants to buy something, it's written Olive has bought fish, James has bought chicken, and it keeps writing. So every transaction is a block on this chain, right? And hence it's called a blockchain. So since you can see that in your mind, the good thing now with blockchain is every time someone does any type of transaction, it doesn't have to be financial transactions, but any type of transaction on the technology, it adds that information on that line. A new block is added to the chain. So since now you've gotten that, the only reason why blockchain is decentralized, you see now this accounting book, it is not stored in one central location. Like you see for the bank, the ledger is just stored in the bank. But then now this ledger for the blockchain is actually stored all around the world in home computers and business servers. Obviously, the information is encrypted. You and I would not understand each of those transactions, and that's why it's called decentralized or distributed. The blockchain technology verifies each and every transaction, in the sense that before you even send a Bitcoin, or I'm giving Bitcoin as an example, but just realize that the blockchain technology is not just limited to financial transactions. But the good thing with it is that you can't really change, copy, or alter the information. Like, it cannot be changed. Once the record is added, it is there to stay. Anyway, that's pretty much how the blockchain technology works. What blockchain is in layman's terms. So blockchain is the technology that allows digital information to be distributed but not copied. The information is constantly reconciled into the database, which is stored in multiple locations but is always updated instantly. It's like a ledger, like transactions are just being noted every single day on this technology, which is blockchain. Decentralized one, meaning no one really owns it per se. Two, it's a distributed ledger. Me and you can see what happens to it every day, and it records the provenance of a digital asset, which is now cryptocurrency, which is virtual money. So yes, so let's just say it's like the bank of the cryptocurrency, kinda. Olive, how many cryptocurrencies are there? There are over 2,000 cryptocurrencies. Obviously, the main one, or rather the one I believe you all know, is Bitcoin. It's the iPhones of cryptocurrency.